Hello my lovely people, I'm Kitten from the Kitten in the Goat and Kendal, and I'm on a mission to help beginners actually do knitting and debunk all the myths and jargon around it. This is part of our free knitting pattern series. If you've signed up to our email, you get a free knitting pattern every month with this little video talk through to tell you about anything, little things that might happen in the pattern. You also get a technique launched a couple of weeks later that aims to take the pattern a bit further or do something different with it. That's getting a bit nippy, isn't it? Yeah. I was going to save this pattern till January, but I'm going to do it now. It's one of those earband warmers with a real pretty little detail at the front. It is so simple. There's only a couple of things you need to know about it, so I'll show you what it is. Down a little alley in the heart of Kendal town is a tiny independent yarn shop. Welcome to the wonderful world of the kitten and the goat. Before we get into the nitty gritty, first of all, a huge great shout out. One of my favourite yarns is back. This is Wendy with Wool. It used to be produced from the Robin stable and they vanished a few years ago. The name's been bought and revived. I am so pleased to have this back. This was always one of my best sellers. It's got a little bit of wool in it for those that like a bit of wool. 25% wool, 75% premium acrylic. Pops in the washing machine, and it's got this really beautiful dye effect. It's not quite a solid, it's kind of faded and textury. It's really gorgeous. Now, I chose that for this month's kit. It is actually going to be the yarn that comes with the kit this month, because I'm going to make this beautiful headband. This is in knit 2 purl 2 rib. Now, we've looked at knit 1 purl 1 rib before, but we've not looked at knit 2 purl 2. Every row is the same. I've cast on 30 stitches. With the pattern, I'll do the maths for you and I'll give you the different stitches to cast on if you want to make it narrower for a child or something. The anatomy of the stitch still applies. So where you've got your flat area is where you're going to put your flat, and where you've got your bump is where you're going to put your bump. You're going to need to concentrate a little bit because you don't build up the same rhythm that you do with your knit 1 purl 1. You kind of have to sing to yourself as you go along. We're going to knit 2, and as you go you think 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Do you want me to slow down? Knit 1, knit 1, bring the yarn forward, purl 1, purl 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Gets to be like a little chart going on in the back of your head. We're doing 1, 2. I recommend that you stop at the end of every row and just look back and check how you're doing, because there is nothing more frustrating than getting an inch up. You see, that needs to be a purl. And discovering you've done wrong down there. and you've got to take it all out. It's really frustrating. Perhaps that'll make a video how to correct that. It's a 2-row pattern. You start and finish on the same stitches. So where you start knit 2, you finish knit 2, and then you turn round and you've got purl 2, and you finish on a purl 2. And when you put it down and you go away and you get confused, you just have to look at it and think, there's the flat bit, so that has to be a knit to take the bump the other side. That's a bump, so we've got to bring the purls forward. So you put a purl to bring the bump forward and carry it on forward. This is a lovely relaxed project to do in front of the television. You can knit it in the school's colours, you can knit it in your favourite football team's colours or your Harry Potter house colours. And you see, I'm not concentrating, I'm talking to you. Anything. Brilliant little stocking fillers again. Any double knitting will do it. There we go. You could do it in stripes if you wanted to, just stop and start your yarn. Keeping this knit 2 purl 2 pattern will help give the headband shape. It'll help keep it in shape. If you just do it all in plain knitting, the plain knitting will soon give and it'll come out of shape. But this, as you go, it's got a bit of texture, got a bit of bounce in it to form it, to hold its shape to your head. The only other little trick to show you for this one is where we actually make the feature twist at the top when we finished. So I'm going to potter away and sing to myself, knit 2 purl 2 for the next few hours, and then I'll come back and show you how to join it to put the little detail at the front that makes it look a bit special. Go back, check we haven't got anything out of place, and that's perfect. Okay, let's get on with this. So here we are, my lovelies. This is the strip for your headband. It's a very simple project. Don't worry if your stitches are a little bit rougher, a little bit more uneven. You know, I've been doing this a long time. You'll get your tension right with practice. The trick in this project is all in how you put it together. So you bring your 2 ends together, you move one slightly to the middle of the other, wrap this around there and wrap that around there. So you've got 2 U shapes. There's that, 2 U shapes. I'm going to put a pin in, just an old needle end out to hold it. If you want to check, this is how it's going to come out. And if you've left your long tail, that's a lifesaver. You can just literally just go as close to the edges as you can. You just want to sew straight across those 4 edges. Make sure you catch them all in all of the time. Right the way to the other end. You can sew the other tail in when you get that far. Nice and neat. No fancy stitches. You can make these in different widths. I'll do the maths for you. Actually, I'll write that down. Headband widths. I'll do the maths for you, so you can do it if you want a much wider one or a skinny one for children, and then you can just make it longer and shorter if you want children's different sizes, just to the size of the head. My kids are grown up. I don't know how big their heads were when they were little. There we go, that's good enough. Take that off there, take that out there. There you go. How clever is that? Might just pop it on and show you. Shall we do that? There we go. Isn't that cute? Just a little something. It's quite dressy actually. I think you could wear that in a more relaxed setting. I think you could wear that to the office if it's a bit chilly, you know. I like that, that's fun. If you get the kit, you will get this aubergine colour. There are other colours. This is all the Wendy with wool. I have already sold out of a few colours, but that will be getting topped up at the end of October. I like that. Yeah. Narrower for kids, wider for people that like it. I don't like too much at the back of my head. Don't wear my hair up very often. Yeah, I like that. That's fun. So that's the kit for this month. If you're not on the email list, go to the website and join up. If you haven't, if for any reason you thought you joined up and you haven't got your email, drop me a message and I'll put you on manually. That's fine. And let's see what I can find you for next month, hey?